Headquarters of common sense.
Talk Radio.
Regular item on this because there are so many stories coming thick and fast. Two different big stories. One, the official guidance that has emerged from the police that women can be strip searched by transgender police officers who are males, biological males, who claim to be women, completely intact, no treatment, no surgery, no nothing. But they, if they do object, they can be accused of a hate crime, because they're transphobic, apparently, for not wanting to be searched by a biological man. But also, teachers are going to be told how to deal with transgender pupils, as we're told that 80% of schools now have a pupil claiming to be trans. Let's talk about this with Professor Jo Phoenix, who's Professor of Criminology at the School of Law in Reading University. Good morning to you, Jo.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk first of all about being strip searched. I mean, I think being strip searched by anyone of any sex would be pretty traumatic for anybody. We had that case of that schoolgirl strip searched by female police officers at her school, which was caused an outrage. But the idea that if I was being suspected of a crime, and let's face it, it's only a matter of time, and I was being strip searched, I would at least like it to be women who were doing it rather than men. And the fact that under this guidance, a transgender officer who living as a trans woman, but nevertheless still a biological male, would be allowed to carry out that search. And if I objected, I could be accused of the hate crime of transphobia. That's quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we are living in extraordinary times, Julie, if you forgive me for saying, and I don't mean it in the Chinese proverb sort of way. I mean, we're dealing with some very new social norms, and we're trying to manage our rules within this new context. Now, I just want to take a tiny step back with regards to the strip searching of female detainees of one sort or another, right? We actually have a United Nations rules on the treatment of women prisoners and non-custodial measures for women offenders. They're called the Bangkok rules. We are a signatory to them. And those Bangkok rules say that strip searching will be conducted by a female. Yeah. Right. So it's not even just what the police are now recommending or even how schools are going to deal with this. There is actually an international body of rules that we need to kind of pay attention to. And I think one of the challenges that we've got at the moment, and, it will come as no surprise that I'm going to be critical of this organization, is that Stonewall has absolutely muddied the water in how we're going to now deal with these new social norms and how we're going to ensure women's privacy and dignity and girls' privacy and dignity, at the same time as recognizing that there are a group of people within our society who do, for whatever reasons, have a gender identity that's opposed to their biological sex. So how we manage all of that is becoming super complicated. And, Stonewall didn't exactly do us any favors by telling us that sex mattered less than gender identity.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the biological facts, the physical bodies matter less than feelings. I mean, there's no other area of in life where feelings trump reality, which is where it's bizarre, isn't it? And this is the thing, the idea that someone who said, no, I mean, you're a man. I don't want you to search me because you're a man. The fact that would then be transphobic, because in that scenario, you're very vulnerable. And we've had, there's some horrific cases recently, Wayne Couzens and Sarah Everard being the chief of these, where lots of women's trust in the police is really, really, gone down. And we've seen, other police officers having been accused of sexual assault and very misogynistic views. Women, quite rightly, not want to be searched by someone with a male body.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely touching on something that I have spoken a lot about recently, and that's whether or not our fears, when I say our, I mean the fears of women about disingenuous predators are real or not, right? Now, there used to be, and forgive me, I'm going to give you like Criminology 101 in three.
Okay, very quickly, because we're running out of time.
Okay, there used to be the idea that people who were most afraid of crime were least likely to be convicted or victim of it. That is not the case. Where women are concerned, that fear is very real and very rational. Now, how we deal with all of these contradictory forces is really what kind of what we need to start working on.
Indeed. Well, Professor Jo Phoenix, really